Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the utility connections for the garden suite or the detached ADU. So what we're looking at here is the gas line. So this was extended from the existing gas meter that is part of the primary house. And we dug a pretty wide trench in order to put this gas line, as well as the electrical wiring that's going to be needed for the electrical service for this unit. So it was a pretty wide trench we had to dig. It was pretty deep, probably around 3 feet. We had the hydro line that was feeding in from the electrical meter. So what we're seeing right now is an attachment to the foundation wall. This is going to actually get extended around to the back where the furnace room in the unit is going to be. So we're going to show you that as well. So let's have a look at the hydro line. So here's the conduit for the hydro line or the electrical line, and this is going to be a 60 amp service to this garden suite. So in total we have 200 amp service to the entire house, and then we split it 3 ways, 60 amps each, and this is adequate for what's required here. We are going to be using a natural gas boiler to heat the space. We're going to have a heat pump for air conditioning, and then we're also going to try to reduce the amount of load in the unit with a gas stove and also a gas dryer. Now, whenever you're sort of digging a trench, because you're digging it anyways and then you're going to backfill it, it's always a good idea to have an extra conduit connecting to it that you can use for something else. This is just sort of a provision in case we have to do any wiring. You know, let's say maybe there's phone wiring or internet wiring that is connecting to the main house. We're not sure what's necessary. Maybe there's some overhead wires that can be added later, but we're not sure. But it doesn't cost extra just for us to put an 1.5 inch conduit on that same trench, just in case we need to kind of put something in there. All right, so that covers the electrical and the gas. So let's go inside and have a look at the plumbing. As you can see, there's a lot of plumbing pipes that are sticking out of the ground here. So before we poured the foundation and before we poured the slab on top of the ground, we had all of these drain pipes installed. And so what we're looking at here, this is the bathroom area. So there's a toilet there, there's a drain for a bathtub, and there's a stack for the vanity or the sink. And then this here is a stack for the laundry that's going to be in the bathroom. This is a stack for the kitchen sink as well as a dishwasher. And then over there, we also have some plumbing available for the service room, right? So that's where we're going to have our boiler. There's going to be a floor drain in there. There's going to be a water heater. And that's going to be some extra drainage for, floor drain and some extra pipes that's going to be necessary. So all this had to be done before we poured the slab in. Now, when it comes to connecting the plumbing and drain system from the existing property, there's a lot of confusion as to whether it goes through the house or whether it goes around to the front. Now, depending on the municipality, some of them will allow you to connect directly to the city main, although most won't. They want you to use the existing services. Even there, depending on the city, some will allow you to go under the existing house, and some will want you to cut through the front. Now, in our situation, we actually provisioned to go through the house, but we were advised by the plumbing inspector that no, it had to actually go in the front. So we actually had to change it. So there is some room for interpretation on the code there, and this is something that you want to ensure that you clarify with the city, their plumbing and drain department, to make sure that you do it the right way. Otherwise, it's probably going to cost a lot more. So in our situation, we do have to do a excavation to the driveway to the front in order to do that connection. Now, in terms of the water service that's coming in, so this is a 3/4 inch PEX line, and this is going to be the main service, the water service for this unit. We're going to have a separate meter for this, so whatever water that the occupants of the garden suite is going to be using, we're going to be able to calculate their usage and separate that from the main house. Okay, so the main service line that's coming in to the property is 1 inch, and we have a 3/4 inch specifically for this unit. And then once this gets into the individual fixtures and faucets, it's going to be 1/2 inch. Okay, so this is going to ensure that there's not going to be any issues with water flow and water pressure. Okay, so that pretty much covers it for plumbing and drains. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching our video. We have a brand new garden suite guide, how to add one to your property. You can download a copy right now for free if you go to www.suiteeditions.com. We cover a ton of stuff you need to know if you want to start building these to create more housing and wealth at the same time. There's also a list of resources that we've identified that you can use. Download your copy now for free at www.suiteeditions.com.